Squier just released the new Affinity jazz basses with active electronics and noiseless pickups. Whew, I'm so pumped to hear how these sound. Made in China, the Squier Affinity Series Active Jazz Bass in a captivating Mystic Sea foam green finish. Features a thin, lightweight poplar body weighing just under 8 pounds 6 ounces. The scale length is 34 inches and the satin finished slim C-shaped maple neck profile feels great in the hands. With perloid block inlays on a 9.5-inch radius Indian laurel fretboard and 20 medium jumbo frets. Right out of the box, the finish was immaculate, but the setup was questionable. Truss rod needed tension, the action was sky high, and the fretboard looked extremely pale. The fret ends are a bit on the sharp end past the 12th fret, on both the bass and the treble sides of the neck. Also to note, if you plan to purchase this bass direct from Fender's website, they do not ship with a 9-volt battery. You will need to supply your own 9-volt battery. I found out the hard way when I plugged this bass out of the box to give it a try and thought it didn't work. Silly me. I've heard through plenty of reviewers here on this space about Squier's quality control out of the box, so perhaps your mileage may vary. Anyways, let's get down and nerdy. The nut width 38.1 millimeters, 12th fret 55.5 millimeters, neck thickness 20.9 millimeters, 12th fret 21.6 millimeters. String spacing is 19 millimeters at the bridge. When it comes to hardware, we have your standard 4-saddle bridge and vintage styled chrome tuners that does the job of tuning your bass. Every turn feels smooth with just the right amount of resistance. However, on the lap, this will neck dive without a strap. I mean, given the fact jazz bass bodies are offset, so I mean, it's kind of a given. With a strap, it dives just a bit. Not so much when standing though. For the electronics, we have a set of passive ceramic noiseless pickups that you've probably noticed that the pole pieces are raised. For the controls, we've got a volume knob, a pan knob to blend between the neck and bridge pickup, and a stacked bass and treble boost cut. Squier even gave us this handy little film on the control plate, just in case we forget what the knobs do. Because honestly, who hasn't had that moment, right? Right? The preamp is powered by a 9-volt battery in the back, but the compartment requires a specific tool to get into. I mean, come on, Squier, I just want to play this bass already, not go on a scavenger hunt for my toolbox.
Motherfucker, where is it? Where the f is it? I swear to God.
Surprisingly, bass boosted does not sound overbearing and unpleasant. It actually sounds tolerable and can get a real good tone out of. Now, playing with a pick sounds monstrous and can get real nasty. Now let's solo the pickups and hear how they sound. Believe it or not, when cutting out the bass and treble, you can kind of get close to a passive sound, which quite honestly, I prefer the tone of. Thinking about getting this active bass from Squier? Let's break down the pros and cons and find out if this one's really worth its $329 price tag. The noise cancelling ceramic pickups are a huge win. No more dealing with that annoying 60 cycle hum. Bruh. Squier really nailed it here, and it's a relief for most players who hate spending hundreds just to upgrade their pickups. This feature alone saves modders a lot of hassle and money. However, if you're thinking of modding this bass even further, the stock preamp might be the first thing to go, for me at least. More on that in the cons. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. The Indian Laurel fretboard. Honestly, I'm not loving this shade. It's way lighter than my other Affinity jazz bass, which is much darker in comparison. I know, I'm nitpicking, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, this bass is always active, so you'll need a 9-volt battery for it to work. But the battery compartment isn't the easiest to access, so you'll need a screwdriver handy with you at all times if this battery ever dies out on you, which is not a good look if that ever happens to you mid-gig. The bass and treble EQ are fine, but I wish the preamp had a push-pull option to bypass the active preamp, to serve as a get-out-of-jail-free card if your battery does die. For $329 though, this is an entry-level active bass, so you kinda get what you pay for.
What, you want a cookie?
Honestly, I almost didn't like the bass. It felt like just an okay active bass from Squier, but after spending some quality time before filming this review, my opinion changed. I could not put this down. I grew to appreciate its quirks, and now it's earned a spot in my jazz bass collection. A keeper for sure. With all that in mind, I give this a 3 out of 5 affinities. It's not a bad bass, but there's room for improvement. Speaking of improvements, a huge thank you to everyone who commented on my recent post about the pickguard choices. I'm really torn between this aged pearloid pickguard or this black pickguard. They both look fantastic. If you want to see this bass with the new pickguards and preamp, be sure to like and subscribe. You won't want to miss it. What do you think of the new Squier Affinity Active Jazz Bass with noiseless pickups? Let me know in the comments down below. My name is Sono Jono, where we promise the bass, the whole bass, and nothing but the bass.